welcome to part 5 of my Te Araroa video. This is day 57, Waimarino or National Park, to the halfway mark, just after Palmerston North. This is like a car camping place where if you have a caravan you can come and park up, and we just found some grass at the back and set up there because it's got facilities, and yeah, we thought, why not just freedom camp on the side of the road. I was reflecting on around the mountain and how proud I was of myself. And in this section we're just about to walk 30 kilometres, here we are, to Sharon's place. I get more optimistic as we go. I don't really want to walk today. I'm not feeling it. Funnily enough, I felt the same last time I was here in Waimarino. I don't know what's going on. It's just hard. I miss home. What am I doing? What am I doing? I hope this isn't a sign of things to come, because I don't like feeling like this, you know? I'm lucky to be doing what I'm doing, yet I feel purposelessness, or I don't know, like there's lots of reasons to be doing what I'm doing, obviously, but there's this mental battle going on within my head, making me think all kinds of things, and I don't like it. The highs are really high, and then the lows are really low, and the other day I said sorry to my body for everything that I put it through. When I spent 14 years abusing it. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, parties, depression. I'm walking around uninjured, and once I got hit by a car, and it's just crazy to think that I walked away unscathed, you know, and now I can do a 32-kilometre day, and I should be proud, but I just feel weird. Whatever. Talk soon. Oh, I'm going to kilometre 1216 today. Monument. It's a trail host where we can stay before canoeing the Wanganui River.
Fall back apart. Find pieces of me all over the yard.
Yeah, this is a decline. Now this entire journey, something like this would hurt my knees. Right now it's hurting my knees. But as soon as I remind myself it's all in your head, I free up and it stops hurting. And I think that only people that have been in pain for almost 2 months would understand that first it's physical and then it's mental. And I think that that summarizes this journey. A lot of people say it's physical, mental, and then spiritual when you're on a long thru-hike or a walk or pilgrimage, whatever you want to call it. And I think for me, and it was physical, 100%, and that messed with my mental a bit, as it would. But I think I tipped over into the mental category the other day when I lost it in the boggy mountainous terrain. I think that's when this journey switched from physical to mental for me. Now I'm excited for the spiritual part, but I'm also okay with sitting in this mental part, because this is where a lot of things might change for me. A lot of old things might come up. A lot of whatever. A lot of what I've been holding on to, a lot of what I've gone through, a lot of this stuff is starting to process. I needed a strong enough body to be able to do that. That's why it's physical, mental, spiritual. Because once I've dealt with my body and mind, what's next? Everything else. It's really making a lot of sense that it's switched into mental now. And like with the knees thing, I'm walking downhill right now and I'm not in pain, because I've reminded myself, you're not in pain, this is in your head. And this is not ignorance of injury or ignorance of your body telling you something. This is different. This is, my body was hurting for so long doing this that now the muscle memory is still there telling me that it's sore. And our mental health is so the same. It is so the same. We tell ourselves the same story over and over again until we believe it, and then we continue to hold on to that until we find a way to change that belief. Sometimes we hold on to our beliefs pretty firmly. So for this mental chapter, I'm going to try and hold my beliefs lightly. My presumptions, my assumptions, my whatever. I'm just going to allow myself to process. Now, this could be quite an event, because I haven't allowed myself to process fully, I don't think, ever. And I think that that's led to me living a life adjacent to alignment. A life next to where I should be and where I am. And I think that's why I've been so confused, so out of energy, and so strung out and burnt out, and it makes sense. So it's time to let it out, you know. Talk about everything. I don't know if I'll do it now or when or whatever, but a lot has happened. I give myself that grace to accept that a lot has happened in my life. I'm just grateful to be here, I guess. And I'll do it piece by piece. And right now it's getting through today. It's in your head. It's in your head. I release it. I release it. It's in my head. I release it. I release it. Nice. That decline was just pain-free. What the mind is, honestly. What the fuck? G'day. It's day whatever, 50 something, 58 or 59. I'm about 7k's into the day, just road and gravel, getting to Whakahoto from the Trail Angel at 1216 kilometres. Whakahoto is the launching point for the 5-day canoe journey down the Wanganui River. I had to take an extra day at this place at 1216 because there was very heavy rain yesterday, and I didn't fancy walking in it. 43 millimetres of rain fell, and in fact it rose the levels in the Wanganui River so high that the canoe hire company didn't operate today. So that gave me the opportunity to get back on my feet again and walk the 25 kilometres to Whakahoto. Apparently there's a cafe there, and I'm fixing to get there while they're still open. Now on another subject, I don't know how much I talked about it the other day, but I said that the journey might be turning a bit mental from physical or whatever. And today I did have a big mental release. I got caught into a thought spiral so strong that it made me quite angry, and I released that anger into the valley. I shouted and the valley shouted back, and then I had a big all-encompassing release of emotion about some of the things that I'm holding on to, you know, centered around the loss of mum. That's a real big thing. Why am I not seeing her like people said, and why, you know, all of those hard questions that sometimes we ask, especially when it comes to things like grief and that. Why that person, why now, why all the challenges? And then, you know, thinking about the depression and my sobriety and everything else that came, you know, before that. So, you know, I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come, but it does remind me how early on I am in the journey of self-discovery. And I've just been asking the forest and the land, show me to myself, for I sometimes can't find my way, and I get caught in thought spirals and I forget what's really important, you know, and sometimes I feel so disconnected from everything, from everyone, from myself, and it's quite a weird, you know, place to be. And while you're walking, you can sort of process this stuff, you can think about this stuff, you can come to terms with things, you know, and weird things come up, weird things you wouldn't even expect, things that you didn't even remember. They'll come up and you'll remember, and then you'll think about it for a while. And for me, yeah, I spiral a bit, but what walking has allowed me to do is look into the spiral until I see it all the way to the bottom, and then build myself back up and pull myself back out of that. It's quite an interesting thing, you know, just doing that over and over again. For someone that's experienced in mental health, you know, peer support person for a suicide prevention agency, lived experience practitioner, certificate in well-being, that kind of stuff, you'd think that I had kind of a deeper understanding, but here's the thing, I'm still just beginning, you know, and that's why I left that behind, so I could do this trail, I guess. It was a big release. It does feel good talking about it, but I kind of don't want to reactivate it, so I'm not going to go deep into the topics that were in here. Some of the stuff is quite challenging. Some of the experiences I've had are quite encompassing, and, you know, like the other day when I was apologising to my body for what I put it through, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it looks like it might be about to get rained on, so I might stand under a tree for a minute and figure out what I'm going to do there. Welcome to day 63 on Te Araroa. These are the canoes. We are canoeing the Wanganui River. Zawaka. See you at the next stop. Sometimes you just gotta stop for a wee, wherever you are. The river's still up a bit from the rain. We had a bit of rain last night as well. So, I mean, it's good. It means there's more water. But it does mean it's murky and brown instead of the clear crystal whatever. We're going to pull straight out and go into this fast moving section of water here, so a bit of a manoeuvre will be needed.
This is where my friends capsized and we had to get their boat out.
The canoe's not damaged. It looks fine.
I'm really curious what survived in there.
Everything. So he's latching onto the rope, I guess, and then he's going to tow it over.
We're grabbing the people. We got them inside.
He's dragging it quite slow, eh?
Yeah, because we want the barrels to come.
Ah, very respectful, considering he has a V8.
Okay, we just need to get on the other side.
Yep, that's fine. So today was a pretty big day. Some of our group capsized and the canoe got stuck against a tree branch for an hour or so, and a jet boat came and rescued us, and we kept canoeing down the river, and then we had quite a bit of wind, and for the first time I experienced a time where I wasn't able to control the canoe because of the wind and the undercurrent and whatever was happening with the water. And that was day 2, and we're staying at the Marae campsite tonight, meaning tomorrow has the most significant challenges, including the 50-50. I'm quite worried about it, to be honest. And the only way is through. Like, to get it away from this campsite is a helicopter, so there's no way out. We just got to go through. I had no idea the river would be this challenging. So I'm just going to write in my journal, and you know, I like going fast. I like fast things. But I don't like the feeling of being out of control. You know. So. All right, day 64 on trail. Just about to set off on the canoe on the Wanganui River. 3 rapids today. First one is in about a kilometre, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna go fast. I think that's the solution. Go fast. Lots of knots.
Lots of knots.
Lots of knots.
Okay, put your socks away, my friend.
Socks. Let's go. Okay, so got wet. We went in just up there somewhere where there's apparently a bit of a bank and it makes the water go white. But all our gear's good and we're fine. That's the main thing. So we all went straight on to telling her that they were down here. So we're in Pipriki now, and we've got to make the decision. We left at 8:30 this morning, and it was 22 kilometres to Pipriki, and it took us 6 hours because of the wind. Do we continue onward another 30 from 2 PM now, and risk getting into camp at 7 or 8 o'clock, or stay here? Problem is, we've got wind on the way in the next couple of days, so we're going to sit down and come up with a decision. Welcome to Wanganui at a random cafe where I just had a green smoothie. You might notice my fresh new rain jacket. Some might say it's minty. I'm replacing some items of gear, getting some new stuff. I went to Rebel Sport. I got my new fly from Durston. They sent me the replacement, so I'm sending back the new one to home. So I've got a spare one. Sending back my rain pants because they're too big. They just fall down. What's the point? And they let water in. And I replaced a pair of shorts because I bought them about a month ago, and I've shrunk so much that they don't fit me anymore. So I've got some new 7-inch Adidas shorts, I think. Whatever, who cares? Sending back a knee brace. It's too big and bulky. I'm not using it. It's heavy. This rain jacket's heavier as well. And I've got some new merino base stuff. So yeah, I'm sending back some tapes and that. And I've got some K-tape. So if my knee does play up again, or my knees play up again, I'll just use K-tape. It's wet, rainy, pretty miserable here at the moment, so I might just stay here for a bit, rest. I'm so tired. See you soon. Welcome to Wanganui City again. I'm taking my jacket back because one of the clips is broken on it. So see if they've got one the same size and I'll exchange it. Decided to leave the hostel this morning. I got up at 4:30 again, couldn't go back to sleep, so started thinking. And, I was going to take another day's rest and rest tomorrow, but I think I just want to keep going, so I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to walk towards Bulls and on the way to Palmerston North. I think a bit more walking might be good for me after taking the break on the canoes and stuff. It will at least allow me to clear my head anyway. It's a funny thing about finding people that you enjoy being around. It's hard to leave. Like, I feel like I'm missing a piece now that I'm going without them, but you've got to make these decisions for yourself when you're on trails, you know, so know what you need, walk your own walk. Sometimes you just got to keep moving, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I hope I'm making the right decision. Got to wait out the weather as well before doing Tararuas, so I'm probably going to catch up with everyone on Palmerston North. So that's not long, is it? Welcome to Bulls. Walked through the main street today and forgot to film absolutely anything. So luckily tomorrow I walk exactly the same way I walked today. It's day like 67, I'm pretty sure. We're at this farm stay with this trail host. It's pretty cool. Hitched from Wanganui all the way to Bulls. It's a 40-kilometer hitch. Whatever, man. Whatever at this point. Just trying to enjoy myself. This could be the last banana tree that I see, by the way. And that's a really big duck there. It's got a long neck. Yeah. Here's some morning reflections for you. I've been thinking about it quite a bit, as I have been this whole hike, thinking about stuff. Before I left on Te Araroa, I was struggling with my career in a way of feeling as if I wasn't fulfilling some ultimate purpose. I was working in suicide prevention, but I felt as if the office and systems and things like that were mundane and taking up more time than actually helping the people that I wanted to help. And I felt as if I was underutilized. So it wasn't quite there, it was close. And then the same thing happens with cars and things that I was pursuing as well. I want to fix cars, but I'm getting frustrated because it's not going the way I want it to, or it's not gaining the traction that I thought it would, or whatever, so it's not quite there. And then there's other things like my writing, which I would stop and judge heavily, and it always felt incomplete, so it wasn't quite there. No matter what the pursuit, it wasn't quite there. And then I come on this hike and I'm still questioning, what are the things that I could be doing? Why am I doing this? The mind doesn't rest. It's almost as if nothing will ever satisfy. Even though I'm doing one of the best things I've ever done, one of the craziest things I've ever done, one of the most outrageous, one of the most difficult. It's almost as if any challenges, after a while, they become so-so. Having a mind like that is becoming pretty difficult to live with, to be perfectly honest. House ahead. They've really missed out on they've really missed out on the opportunity here to call it relocatable. Oh no, they put transportable. They've taken the opportunity.
So we're having a laugh about all of the puns that are in the town of bulls. Everything has a bull in it, you know, constable, things like that. We found it quite funny. Now we're headed towards Palmerston North on the road now.
Follow the pretty road. Flat grass.
to shake me out again. Need a friend to shake me out again.
Kaput. Good day for walking. Well, we are leaving Fielding, heading towards Palmerston North. Let's go. So this is what we do for fun. We walk in the rain.
It's so nice. We like it so much.
It's not going to make a difference. They're so wet.
Oh no!
Oh no, it might make a difference. Oh. Okay. Rain's gone away for a bit. Everyone's got wet feet. But we're like 6 kilometers away from Palmerston North, walking towards the blue sky. There's lots of styles, mate. He's fine.
Water is rising.
Welcome to Palmerston North. I didn't even see a sign to enter the city with, but I was walking in farmland. What's the difference between the right shoe and the left shoe? The right one's wet. I'm going to wear it all day. That's the difference. Okay. But we're leaving Sam's place now. It's day 70. About to start traversing Tararuas. This was an awesome place to stay. So if you're watching this in 2026, for your 2026-2027 season, I highly recommend it in Palmerston North. Let's go. This could be our issue doing Tararuas. All of the rivers and streams are swollen. It's been raining for the past 2 weeks, so we're going to go in for the first 3 days of the Tararuas, which leads sort of around a low-lying hilly area into Levin. So once in Levin, we can reassess whether or not it's going to be safe to do the rest of the Tararuas. But at least the first 3 days, there's not too much elevation. There are a lot of crossings. Apparently I'm just going to have to get my feet wet. So yeah.
We can do this. We can do this. It's great. Really wet, but we can do this. Woo! Morale is high. We got some protein bar. John is also excited.
I'm so ready.
Yes. Do we? No viene.
No bien.
No, tutto bene. Should we pull it?
Yeah.
And back here.
Back to Cape Ring. And back to Oh, come on, John. So I'm at the Gahutarawa Outdoor Recreation Hub, and these signs have a bit too much information on them for me to stand here and read, so I normally I'll just squiz over them. I think this is it's a mountain bike network that we're walking and staying on. Well into that biking trail now. Weather's cleared up a bit. Could be a good couple of days here if we have good conditions. The river might go down overnight a bit and we might be safe tomorrow, which is ideal. It's kind of what we want. So all might end well from what was quite a miserable beginning to the day, leading into my biggest day yet, I think. But we'll see how I get on. Yep, so that did end up being one of my biggest days on trail. The whole time I was on trail, 34-ish kilometres, past the halfway mark from
Palmerston North. So we, at the end of this video, we're walking towards the shelter at 1538.5 kilometers. It's a shelter, not a hut. And there's also this halfway sign here, so I think that the halfway mark has moved a few times. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video and continuing to support the videos that I'm making of my experience along Te Araroa. Super happy to have made it past the halfway mark. That was quite the milestone for me, and obviously beginning the Tararuas. So in the next video you're going to see Tararuas and onwards. Peace out.